weirdos? Shadetree Surgeon here, and today we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. Burritos. And since this is a Shadetree Surgeon channel, we're not going to be talking about any old burritos today. We're going to be talking about the kind of burritos that get these cause-chasing social justice warrior dipshits so incensed that they're literally taken to the streets in protest. You may be asking yourself, how the hell could a burrito, just this warm capsule of love and happiness, how could that ever make anyone angry? Well, bear with me here, because in this instance, truth is stranger than fiction. And the story I'm about to tell you, that isn't a scrapped episode of the show Portlandia. This is something that actually took place in the city of Portland. You guys might have missed this one in the news, but recently a couple of girls in Portland opened up a small business selling burritos. Two white girls, mind you, and that shouldn't matter, but it's 2017, so it matters. Anyway, their shtick for selling burritos was that they claimed to have traveled to Mexico, where they learned some traditional tortilla-making techniques and brought them back to Portland. And that's actually where it all went wrong. All it really took was a couple of straw boss armchair activists on Twitter to decide that these girls, they needed to become an example. After all, they're ravening hordes of sycophantic Twitter followers. They demand blood sacrifice. And what's more guilt-free than tearing apart some beanie-wearing, Starbucks-sipping, Pinterest-having white girl? Am I right? These guys know what they're doing. They gotta throw someone to their mob to get strung up at least once a week, lest they become irrelevant. So the cries of cultural appropriation began. How dare these two white girls just cruelly rip the sacred art of the burrito from the noble arms of the Mexican people. Grab the torches and the pitchforks, boys. Let's run them out of town. We won't stand to see one single more burrito made by white hands. The burrito god, he is an angry and vengeful god, and the blasphemy must stop. Crucify them! Well, unfortunately, as it so often does, the outrage worked. The two girls were very successfully painted as cultural thieves, just hell-bent on whitewashing Mexican heritage. They were the focus of a massive shitstorm of internet hate and bullying and even death threats. And I'm sure at some point, fearing for their own safety, they were forced to close up shop. Come on, round of applause. You did it, guys. Good job. Those girls' business is ruined. Kook's Burritos is done. Finito. They will not pollute the world with one single more white-made burrito. Breathe easy, Mexico. Your national treasure is safe. Today, Kook's. Tomorrow, Chipotle. Let's take them down, guys. So there is so much bullshit in this story, I almost don't even know where to start. But it seems easiest to start with the food itself, so let me ask this question. Can you actually culturally appropriate the burrito? I mean, all it is ingredients enclosed in a flour wrap. It's not exactly rocket surgery. It's a fucking round sandwich, okay? They didn't reinvent the wheel here. It's just a food preparation method born out of convenience. Look, I get that the burrito was popularized in Mexico, but something tells me that the rest of the world would have eventually figured out that taking a bunch of delicious stuff and then putting it on a very thin piece of unleavened bread and rolling it up was a pretty awesome way to eat food. Oh, wait a second. They did! That's why you see Euro stands and shawarma joints right next to restaurants selling burritos. Look, the burrito and other forms of wraps, that's the world's food, man. That is just way too simple of a concept to lay claim to. It's like saying the only person who can open up a pizza joint is a genuine Italian person, and if anybody else besides a genuine Italian person opens up a pizza joint, by God, that's some evil-ass cultural appropriation right there, and they need to be shut down. I'll tell you this much, there are hundreds of pizza joints in the Tampa Bay area, and I'm willing to bet that not a single one of them is owned and operated by a person who was born and raised in Naples, Italy, which is widely considered to be the birthplace of pizza. So where's the outrage here? I mean, shit, man, there's a pizza place right down the street from my house, and it's run by a bunch of Armenian dudes. I mean, so do I think that place should be shut down? Well, actually, I do think it should be shut down, but it's not because of cultural appropriation. Their pizza just fucking sucks. There's a popular Greek restaurant here in Tampa, the kind of place where they really lay it on thick. I mean, they have live Greek music, they have belly dancers, they smash the plates, they throw the napkins, they yell, "Opa!" You know, the whole Greek experience. And so was that place started by somebody who was born and raised in Greece? Hell no, man. It's owned and operated by a Syrian immigrant who just so happens to think that Greek culture is pretty neat. Once again, where's the outrage? Where are all the warriors on Twitter defending the sanctity of Greek culture? Why aren't they taking this man to task for his villainous plagiarism of the Greek people? Surely this is a transgression worth the same level of vitriol shown to those girls in Portland, right? They're Americans who took Mexican recipes, he's a Syrian who took Greek recipes. You tell me, what's the difference? Two white girls. That's what the difference is. Every comment and every Twitter post I read about this, they all kind of had the same theme. All the outrage stems from the fact that it's a couple of white girls that are doing this. So apparently, if you're a white girl in the United States and you want to live the American dream and open up a small business, you better tread lightly. And if you're going to open up any kind of restaurant as a white girl, well, you better stick to hamburgers and hot dogs or else the Twitter police is going to come shut your ass down. Really, to avoid further confusion, what we should do is we should call upon these cultural appropriation watchdogs of the internet, and we'll get them to compose an approved list of small businesses that it's okay to open if you're a white girl in America. Apparently, it's really important to them to keep everybody in their assigned place, so we better get some guidelines down. Then they can really make sure that all these white girls that fancy themselves entrepreneurs, they can make sure that they don't stray from the path. White girls of America, you can be anything you want to be. So long as what you want to be is the owner of a vintage clothing store or maybe a professional Instagram model. White girls, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's gonna be a tough market out there. After all, there's only so much room for tiny whimsical coffee shops. But at least if you're on the approved list of white girl businesses, there won't be any chance of these psychotic social justice warriors ruining your entire livelihood. You know what, though? White girls are pretty easy targets, especially when they're from Portland and they wear beanies and scarves year-round. Shit, man, you think I don't love busting on some ridiculous-ass white girls? Fucking A, man. But the level that these people take it to, it's something entirely different and very poisonous. You see, when these political activists and these bloggers who rail on about white privilege in America, when they talk about the two white girls, what they do is they conjure up this image, this caricature of a human being. This person that they create, this straw man, or straw woman, I should really say, this manufactured meme of a person, this person who's never known want, who's never known need. Someone who is privileged and vapid and hollow and couldn't possibly have the depth of character to realize that an entire world exists outside of their personal bubble. When they take this caricature that they've created, when they take this white girl, when they hold up this image to the mob and they say, "This is the enemy. Now attack them. Teach them a lesson of humility. Put them in their place. Shut them down. These white girls must be stopped." And shit, man, if you're talking about a person who's that bad, well, let me grab my pitchfork and we'll get this party started. How can a person like that not whip you up into a self-righteous frenzy? I'm ready to go right now. You know, filtered through the relative anonymity of the internet, it can be really easy to forget that we're actually talking about real live people here. Callie Wilgus and Liz Connolly are real live people with hopes and dreams and flaws and foibles, just like the rest of us. And for these social commentators to foist this caricature of a personality onto these two girls, to paint them as nothing more than a couple of basic white chicks who are out to make a buck buck off the backs of the oppressed Mexican people. That's nothing more than racism, plain and simple. You see this happening again and again with these cause-chasing social justice warrior types. They're so desperate to latch on to any transgression, no matter how tenuous, that they end up doing so much more harm to their cause than they could ever do good for it. This pigeonholing and racist profiling that they engage in, it only serves to widen the racial divide that already exists in our country. At a time more than ever when we need to be pulling together, these people are doing nothing but alienating such a large part of the population. You just cannot combat racism with even more racism. If you're watching this and you're one of those social justice warrior types who jump on the bandwagon to get a place like Cook's Burritos closed down, let me ask you, what kind of message are you trying to send to the world? Who exactly do you expect to win to the side of progressive tolerance when you engage in such intolerant behavior? Who do you expect to be impressed by this, except for the people who already share the same views as you? If you're going to label yourself a soldier in the fight against racism, which by all means, please do, it's a noble fight, but if you're going to do that, you need to ask yourself some hard questions, and you need to start with, what is my message and who am I trying to convince? Too many of these people do nothing but showboat how progressive and how tolerant they are to people who are already convinced. If your message isn't effective in reaching the right people, what you're doing is nothing more than social masturbation. And that will always do more harm than it will good. Thanks for listening to me ramble, guys. If you agreed with anything I had to say here, please leave a like on the video, and you know what? Share it too, and help get this message out. And if you disagree with me, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments section. Rational discourse is always welcomed on this channel. I just ask that you keep things civil and polite. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, y'all.